welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Let's Go Candid with URJA. In today's episode, we have one of the most widely followed stock market guru and self-made entrepreneur, Mr. Abhishek Kar. He has been a proud recipient of 101 awards, which also includes Young Leadership Awards by JSK Group and Youth Inspiration by Poornwadi Group at India's biggest reform hall, that is Mahatma Mandir Gandhinagar. He began making YouTube videos in 2017 and he now has 572K subscribers on YouTube, as well as lakhs of followers on Instagram, Twitter, and other social media platforms. We are very grateful to have you here with us, sir. Thanks for taking out time from your busy schedule for us.
Thank you so much for inviting and this warm and cordial welcome. It feels great, and hopefully, we'll be able to add a lot of value to the people who will be listening to this particular podcast.
Sure, sir. So, without any further ado, let's get started with the interview. We have two segments, namely the question answer round and the rapid fire round, each containing a set of questions gathered by our team. So, with your permission, sir, we would like to begin with the first segment, which is the question answer segment.
Sure, let's go ahead.
So, my first question to you, sir, is since we all are well acquainted that trading and content creation have always flooded your life with success, what out of the two floats your boat better and why?
So, obviously, it's trading, and the reason is because still most part of my bread and butter comes through trading. So, I've been waiting for that day when this content creation and the other aspect can actually overtake the world of trading. But when I actually calculate and when my books actually go for the audit during the end of the year, we do realize that it's still the trading part which is occupying the major amount of income. So the thing is, first I'm a trader and then a creator. And creator actually happened because I wanted to give back to the society in terms of whatever I've learned so far. I just wanted to give it back to the society. So that's where I actually came to the world of content creation. So yes, when you actually about what's actually sailing my boat as of now, it's still trading. But I wouldn't deny that. With that being said, even the content part has helped me a bit in terms of keeping me psychologically free. A lot of my affiliate income, a lot of my programs, a lot of sponsored things are actually a byproduct of what I do through content. So yes, that is also focused on some part. But yes, major goes to the first aspect, that is trading.
Okay, great. So, how do you avoid the clashing of both the mindsets while working?
I have actually preset the time slots which I actually give for both of these. So for example, trading actually occupies my first half, that is from 9:15, 9:30 to 3:30. That is basically where I'm actually doing a lot of trading stuff. And when it comes to the content part, either it is around early morning between 7 to 9, where I'm actually doing my research and what exactly I need to put up on various platforms, or it's basically after the 4:35 o'clock where I actually plan. So that's exactly, so it's all about time management. And I particularly believe that each one of you who is listening to this thing, they often give excuses that I can only manage one thing at a time, but that's false. If you want, if you have the willpower, you can definitely do two or three things simultaneously, like Musk does.
Very well said, sir. You seem to have a great balance between the two. So, my next question to you is what was your first stage experience out of all the highly valuable appearances that you have made at various reputed institutes?
Okay, so I had actually started participating right from my what do we call college days itself. Till the school days, I was a little fearful. I was having stage fright also, but eventually I had actually overcome that this thing, and I had summoned courage to stand on the stage. But one which I can recollect was before the Brokers Association in Mumbai. So a lot of brokers had actually gathered, and there was a particular session which I had to take for these people, and fortunately I got some really good feedbacks which got me going, and then since then there was no looking back.
Okay. So, which out of all is the one that you always cherish, your appearances that you always cherish?
So always cherished would be my visit to Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, Mahatma Mandir. The reason is because at that point of time, the kind of hospitality which I received, that made me feel like Shah Rukh also, because at every distance there were like 3 to 4 volunteers to help me out, and then Even outside the place where I was staying, they had actually kept 3 to 4 volunteers exclusively for me. And then, all that, it felt more like, for a moment I felt, oh, like a Shah Rukh Khan kind of treatment, a particular car for me, specifically for me, to pick me up, to drop me up, always 3 to 4 people around me just to guide me across this thing. So, really grateful to have that kind of this thing. And other than that, lately I've been doing a couple of this thing. I've been invited to a couple of sessions which are conducted by one of the brokers, one of the leading brokers in our country. So they are also very hospitable. I've done like 4 to 5 events with them back to back in the last 1.5 months: Lucknow, Mumbai, Delhi, and the last one was in Lucknow, and before that, I think so one was in Indore. So their hospitality is also quite good. So I would say the first one was Ahmedabad, and the second one would be these brokers.
Ahmedabad one gave you a celebrity thing.
Absolutely,
Enjoyed it.
absolutely. And who wouldn't like to cherish those kind of moments? I definitely love
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well said. So my next question is, with a humongous number of 572K subscribers on YouTube, which is further rapidly growing, we all know that social media provides not only a positive but sometimes relatively negative reactions. So how do you deal with the negativity that flows around on social media?
So first of all, let me clarify that my hardcore content creation actually started happening after 2020. Why I don't consider 2017 or 2018? Because 2017, although the channel was initiated, but the frequency of uploading a video was one video in 6 months. Okay, so that is technically like two in a year. So I wouldn't even
Hmm.
count that as creation. Which later on I improved and I went to like 3 videos to 4 videos a year. That was the next year, 18. 2019, of course, the frequency went up slightly because that's where I realized that, okay, maybe I should start seriously considering this area also whenever I'm getting time. So at that point of time, every month, like 2 videos or something, which was still low because that counts to close to 20-24 videos a year. So it was 2020 after Scam 1992 when I became active. Now, the moment you start growing on any particular social media platforms, you're bound to have a equal proportion, in fact a minute proportion of critics and a bigger proportion of your people who love you. So initially, of course, I had these apprehensions, as well as I did face a lot of hate, abuses, and all those things, and I didn't know how to take it because I was more used to physical sessions, to meet people physically, and I wasn't aware about how anonymous handles can actually steal away your peace, specifically on social media handles. So I did face some sort of hiccups at that point of time, but then what I did is I start diligently following some Bollywood celebrities and Hollywood celebrities to understand what these people do. And while going through their timelines, I realized, oh my God, my hatred is nothing in front of what these people get. And I started looking into various YouTube interviews and other interviews, what these people used to do. So first, they all have a dedicated team, and second, in most of the cases, they don't even know what people are talking about themselves. So that's creating a piece. So I made a thumb rule. That's my 10-year rule. In fact, I would give all the people who are listening to this thing, this is not just for social media. I just wanted to give some value. This is definitely going to help you out also. So in life, often we get perturbed by very little things. So tomorrow, if we have a fight with someone, we start thinking and we start brooding about it for like 10, 11 days. Usne mujhe aise kaise bol diya. Then if some bad incident happens with us, let's say with a friend, with a colleague, or anyone for that matter, we start thinking, oh my God, let's say we got embarrassed in front of classmates because of some incident that the water spilled over here or something like that. So we start taking it to heart. But always at that point of time, think whether these things will matter after 10 years. That's my 10-year concept. So I quickly do my maths whether this will have some substantial impact on me after 10 years. If in most of the cases it won't, me
Hmm.
getting embarrassed in front of a classmate, in front of 100 class people, after 10 years, these people would hardly remember. The reality is, we all often think very high of ourselves, but the reality is, no one actually cares about us. It's just on the nick of the time, everyone is thinking. You only think that dunya kya bolegi, dunya ko koi matlab nahi. They're themselves flooded with their own headaches and their own problems. So everyone is fighting their own battles. So just think, will it matter after 10 years? In most of the cases, it won't. Just like that, the trolling and all these things, it won't. So I troll the trolls because that's how I get fun in the heat of the moment. But I don't take it to the heart. If someone is really very abusive, I definitely block those people. And that's not because I have something against this thing, but The thing is, at that point of time, they are probably not in the right state of mind, and I want my peace not to be stolen by someone else. It's as simple as that. You are staying in a house. If you see it is very cluttered and there's a lot of garbage, you're not going to sit and watch it over there. You're going to pick it up and throw it up. So that's exactly what block does for me. And on YouTube, thankfully, there is a very beautiful thing called mute. So once you start using mute, the person who's actually typing comment doesn't even realize that his comments are not reaching up to me, but he is happy that, oh, I'm giving hate comments and just see what is happening to Abhishek. And I'm also happy because I can't see those comments. So this is particularly what I do. So very simple. Everyone in life, these things won't matter. The only things which are going to matter, something philosophical I'm going to give now, is there are only 3 or 4 people who are going to matter more in your life. One is of course your parents, your mother and father. Third could be anyone who loves you a lot, could be a friend, could be a brother, could be a sister, anyone who's ready to sacrifice his or her life for you. And the final one is your spouse. I wouldn't even count children at that point of time because Kalyug hai, you never know what happens. So let's Gautam Buddha bolte na, expectations is the root cause of most of the miseries. Don't keep much expectations, go with the flow, and that's it. Thoda philosophical ho gaya, but that's that.
I totally agree, sir. Very well answered. So, my next question for you is in the blog, The Typical Indian Conversation, you mentioned about the society being demotivated. How did you feel at that time, and what all thoughts were crossing your mind? Have you ever had the feeling of self doubt, or such comments made you even more career driven?
So yes, I had these areas of self-doubt. See, when you are young, you probably don't have much of experience into the real life situation. So obviously you feel a little down, you feel upset and all those things. But as soon as you start maturing with life, with experiences and all those things, you tend to realize that the world at various places is there to always pull you down. Specifically in India, the moment you start going up, there are 10 people who will be there to cheer you up and 100 people who will try to pull you down. So now we have reached a stage where I feel that, until unless you don't have those 100, 1,000 people who are ready to pull you down, you probably are not doing anything substantial with your life. So it has become now a parameter. Earlier, it used to be a boulder on my path, but now it's more like a parameter to judge how well I'm doing. So, across all the platform, millions of people are actually following me. Close to 1.1 million people are following me across the platforms. Out of that 1.1 million people, obviously there would be, I cannot please everyone. There would be few people who may not be ever satisfied. So likewise, at that point of time, maybe at that point of time, I didn't realize that there were people who were pulling me down. But now they actually feed the fire that yes, the very reason why they're pulling me down gives me more motivation that now eventually I have to make them my fans in the near future. So let's work harder and prove them that what they were thinking was wrong and my aspirations, my visions were legit and right.
Yeah. Very well said, sir. So, my next question to you will be that being from the Commerce Department and working for the companies in India as well as abroad, what do you think are the major areas where we as a country excel and areas where we lag behind from other countries?
So one where we lack is professionalism. You really go deep into the global peers and with the whatever interactions I have with the HNIs and everything. They're very professional. Seven means seven. In India, seven means 8:30 or 9 at the earliest. So the first thing is the kind of professionalism. The second thing is we still, although now the younger generation has started understanding this thing, but this applies to both corporate jobs as well as the professional world that if you are being paid, let's say 100 rupees, do the work which is worth of 150 rupees. We Indians typically feel that we are just being paid 100 rupees, so we should rather do something around 90 or 80 rupees a thing. But that should be opposite because what we don't realize that we need to look for long-term vision, both in investing in life and corporates. If today you start delivering value worth 150 rupees, tomorrow they will give you more businesses. So that becomes a volume kind of thing, both in corporate as well as this profession. The next thing which I realized on the good part is we are more social. The kind of holidays, the social activities which happen in India, you would seldom find that in abroad. Other than the main thing is Christmas and the New Year occasion. In India, every month you have something. One is Diwali, then Dashera, then Eid. Something or the other keeps on going on. So we have more of the social aspect out there. And another thing is yes, emotionally we are probably more attached. It has both pros and cons, but yes, we are having slightly more emotional intelligence. That is what I feel as compared to our global peers, which is again to our advantages. Finally, now through a professional this thing, because I'm pretty sure a lot of commerce grads as well as MBA and commerce students would be watching this thing. There's a huge opportunity right now in India, both in terms of job, entrepreneurship, and everything. So I really don't feel there is a need, 10 years back, of course, we had some dearth of opportunities, and for every second thing, we probably had to go to abroad. People were doing GRE just to go outside, GMAT just to go outside. But today, for example, ISB, that is Indian School of Business. Remember, I'm not promoting any college, but the kind of scores they're accepting is equivalent to what Harvard accepts, and the kind of exposure with in terms of academics as well as growth we are getting in some colleges in India is far far superior than I wouldn't say far superior than, but yes, it's equivalent to what they are getting in abroad. Secondly, the standard of living in India has also gone up. So if you really want to cherish a very lavish lifestyle, you can go to places like Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore. And if you really want to remain peaceful, you still have other tier two cities, tier one cities, where by sitting at home also you can earn decent amount of money. And the third thing is the biggest advantage which India has, which earlier China had, but now it doesn't have, is the demographic dividends, which means the number of younger age population is way too higher. And always remember, we are the ones who are going to consume most food. We are the ones who are going to consume luxury. For example, no 75-year-old would come and say कि मेरे को आज BMW खरीदनी Audi खरीदनी है. By that age, they are into that moksha wala area. So it's the younger generation who is ready to spend, and it's the younger generation who is going to get into the most innovative ideas. So we have a lot of opportunities. So my suggestion is even those people who are thinking to go to abroad, ek do saal mein aa jao, because the biggest opportunities are right now.
So definitely, sir, we hope that in future, whatever the lags we are facing right now, we excel in those areas too and compete with other countries properly. But from your answer, we have learned that we have a lot of areas where we are growing better day by day. So my next question is, well, sir, we all know that you have been a recipient of numerous awards and recognitions. So we want to know that one award that stands of most value to you.
So I would say, so there are plenty in the various domains, but I would say the best speaker award which I got in the first year of my graduation. The reason is because that was a kind of ultimate booster. I was competing against people who were like 4 to 5 years older than me. And within that, getting that sort of award, that did help me to boost a lot of confidence. Because till my ninth class, I couldn't even speak in English. Till 11th, I could just speak okay in terms of my communication skills, and then it was that first year which actually gave me a boost. So a lot of people, they think that when it comes to communication skills, we didn't focus in our schools. Don't worry, even I was a backbencher, I didn't focus, but life always gives you an opportunity. It's how you are actually utilizing. So just because that helped me, although it was a very little award, but because it helped me to boost up my confidence, so I would say yes, that was the best speaker award which I got.
So I think our question might have made you a little nostalgic about that moment when you received that
For a
first.
brief period of
Uh,
time, I still have that image when I'm actually holding on to that trophy in my mind. So yeah.
Great. So, next question will be like, you recently posted on Instagram where you were talking about luxury. So, in your thought process, is your thought process about luxury the same in comparison to what you probably felt when you were 18 or 19 years old?
No, it has completely changed. See, when you're young blood, for you, luxuries, cars, bungalows, and exotic vacations and all. But I'll tell you an interesting story. So my thing was the moment 3 CR will touch my bank account, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, Falana Dimka and all those things. And there was a lot of excitement. But the moment that actually hits your bank account, it's like, okay, now what? That's it. So you got to understand that it's basically the process which people enjoy. So talking about luxury, for me now the luxury is that without even thinking about anything, I can take a break and record this podcast with you people without thinking about anything. For me, luxury is every month. Yes, let me tell you, every month, almost 15 to 16 days, I'm traveling, and it's not out of compulsion because I enjoy. So one day you will find me in Delhi, another day you'll find in Mumbai, then Bangalore. I just came down from Bangalore. 3 days I was in Bangalore for a big event, so I was a speaker out there. So and what is the luxury? Now I'll tell you. So luxury is I was supposed to return back from Bangalore, and now this would be a little bit of flex also, but not a major flex, but still. So the first luxury is I decide to go to Bangalore just a day prior to this thing. The organizers had been after me for the last 3 months, but since I was traveling, they couldn't. So the first luxury is I book an airline ticket just 6 hours before the flight. So that's number one. And the second one is I cancel because I was supposed to come back within 1.5 days. So the very next day, I cancel that ticket without even thinking about anything. And then I again book another ticket for the next day. So I think that would fall into considering the air prices, which has actually shot up, but then doing all those things. But in a nutshell, this is nothing big, but in a nutshell, that yes, I can take my own decisions. I have that luxury of time. Just because the friends said that we should have fun, why are you going back to your town? So I could just postpone this thing, which usually doesn't happen with a lot of people who are doing jobs, because jobs, matlab, 2 days off means 2 days off at max per day, 4 day at a time. So maybe luxury for me is that time flexibility as well as the flexibility to do whatever I want to do with the limited resources I
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for giving all the answers very nicely and very patiently. Now we have completed our question answer round, and now we have a fun rapid fire lined up for you. So hope you enjoy it. Over to you, Gurbani.
Answered the questions with such flair and depth that it would be easy for any newbie to understand the process that goes behind success. Now, sir, with your permission, I'd like to start with the rapid fire round.
have. Sure, let's go ahead.
All right. The first question to you is, apart from investing and trading, what other options did you have in your pocket?
So I had one because I have completed my MBA, so I had one option to do job. That's obviously, and eventually I could be a consultant somewhere. That was one option. But moreover, even if I had to do something else, I would have done something in creative. Maybe I would have become a director for some series and movies. And by now, you guys must be watching that. So that was another option. I used to write songs also. So who knows? I could have become a song composer also.
Well, we finally got to know your hidden talent as well. Okay, so the next question is, taking the present scenario in consideration, in which sector would you not invest?
I wouldn't invest into e-commerce. I know it's a very buzzing thing, but there is something called circle of competence, because I don't understand how these e-commerce companies make profit, irrespective of every quarter on quarter 3,000 crore loss, 4,000 crore loss, but yet people give valuation. So since I don't understand, that's why I wouldn't be investing into a hardcore e-commerce.
Makes sense. Okay. An advice given by a prolific investor which you would never follow?
Which I would never follow. So it would be that wait for the right time before you start investing. That was given by someone who's little aged. And I did realize in the last 11 years that there is no right time. It's better to start at as early as possible.
Rightly said. All right. So now you have to answer this in 3 words. Your views on Brahmastra, especially because you tweeted about this. 3 words only.
3 words. Don't watch it.
Okay. And things you can't live without?
Again, 3 words.
Yeah.
Now is my smartwatch. That's one because I keep care of my steps. The second one is water. I really drink a lot of water, and I can't just scientifically also I cannot survive without it, and technically also I can't. And the third one is cell phone. Let's not deny that most of our work and we are hooked up to that.
Okay. Lastly, your fears in three
Okay, just
words.
one in 3 words. Yes. Keywords is losing my loved ones. That's one big fear. Lately, I've been feeling that, oh no, everyone is aging and all those things, and life has become so unpredictable. So you never.
True. All right. So the next question for you, sir. If a movie is made about your life, what would be the appropriate title of the movie, and which actor would do justice to your character?
Rise of the Underdog, because I was definitely an underdog for a fairly long period of my career. And the actor would be this, forgot the name, the Stree wala jo actor hai, Rajkumar. Rajkumar. Yeah.
Rajkumar Rao. Okay.
Because he's a good actor and I think he can do justice.
Yes, definitely, sir. Okay. Name one person who was your backbone during the most difficult times.
My mother.
Sorry, sir.
My mother.
Okay. Lastly, what piece of advice would you like to give to all the traders who are hustling on a daily basis to achieve success?
It takes time. A doctor takes almost 8 years, an engineer takes 5 years to get a good salary. A chartered accountant, in order to complete and get a good, decent amount of salary, takes 5 to 6 years. An architect takes 9 years. So, why do you consider a serious profession like trading, which has no limits to the amount of money which you can make, and literally no limits? Why do you think you can become a good trader within a year or two? So give time. It's okay, even if you're failing this thing. I made losses for close to 3 years in the starting, so it's completely fine. Have patience, and eventually you'll become a good trader.
Thank you. So I believe that's a very useful advice. And with this, we come to an end with the rapid fire round. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and answering our questions with such ease. This was really interesting as we got great insights into the work routine of an entrepreneur, veteran stock enthusiast, and of the content creator as well. So, on behalf of the entire team URJA and the students of Sri Guru Gobind Singh College of Commerce, we are grateful for the opportunity to have such an enlightening conversation with you. We sincerely hope that you had fun answering those questions as well.
Thank you so much. I really had fun and must appreciate that both Gurbani as well as Gursimran, I hope I pronounced it right, both have been wonderful hosts, and I wish you all very, very best wishes for your future. Thank you so much for
Thank you
inviting.
so much, sir.
Have a great day. Bye bye.
You too, sir. Thank you.